Which one?
You make me wanna.
You make me want to be the one. Relationship to relationship. I don't know the actual words. Like
Ah,
all I hear him say is relationship.
ah.
That's what you do.
Yeah, this is
Something,
that.
something, sing it come a long way to make me, to make me.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin again, and this time I'm going to be bringing you guys episode 2 of Harper versus JJ. I'm Justin Queso4, aka JJ Gutierrez, and I'm along with my special guest, lovely co-host as usual, the mediocre madam, aka Snarky Bidoof, aka Harper 3K. Why don't you go ahead and say what's up to everybody?
Introducing me like I'm a guest on this show.
You're
More
a guest in
like
your own house.
leader, co-host slash I carry everybody in this call right now, aka you.
Oh, you talking about? Hang on, I got to take
Oh
this one too.
shit.
Uh huh.
Uh huh.
Uh
Uh huh.
huh.
Yeah. What people don't know is that he doesn't even have a phone.
Okay. All right. Cool. I don't care
That
what kind of. I don't care where he went to school. I don't give a shit, dude. Okay.
Handbrook.
Grand. Anyways, we're gonna be bringing you guys on last time on Harper 3K's channel. We talked about console games and we were doing previous generation games because I'm old and wise and
Hmm.
so handsome in every single way. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take you guys to a younger generation, the next gen, and Harper's gonna go ahead and explain that to you guys right now.
Okay. So in terms of us talking about next gen consoles, I figured we'd talk about the sixth and seventh generations, and I confirmed this by looking online. I know a lot of people are kind of like up in the air on what constitutes a generation of a console. But like I said, for today we're going to be talking about sixth and seventh, and what that is sixth technically is when you talk about stuff like the Dreamcast or the PS2, the GameCube, and the original Xbox. Whereas the seventh generation is basically talking about anything current right now, so like the Wii, the 360, and the PS3. So, I mean, that's a lot of games to
Yeah.
cover. So, I mean, I we didn't really write games down like we did before. So,
All right. Well, that's gonna be up to you. Okay. So we're gonna try three. We'll try three for right now, and if we have anything longer, I'll add probably two. So last time I kind of took up all the airspace. So Harper's gonna start with. Why don't we
usual.
go with? Did you have a Dreamcast?
I have a Dreamcast right now. I never
Yes.
had one before.
Oh, so you didn't get it till after it was dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
when it was like $5.
When it's five. I actually liked the Dreamcast, and other than the third-party support that killed it, it was actually a very good system at the time, and the graphics and all that stuff were pretty impressive. So, do you have a favorite Dreamcast game that is no?
No, I bought it for my boyfriend because he really wanted one, so I bought it for him for either Christmas or his birthday a couple years ago. And I bought him that Seaman game that was
Oh, with the little fishing pole or
Leonard
whatever.
Nimoy was
Oh
the
yeah, the face.
yeah, and the narrator. So that's the only one I've seen. I mean, I haven't seen any other games for it, so I wasn't impressed.
We don't condone this kind of behavior, but one of the things that killed the Dreamcast is that you can actually download games and write them to CDRs.
Really?
So I wouldn't suggest doing that because you'll go to
Oh,
jail and
mixtapes?
never mixtapes. And my favorite game was Virtua Tennis 2. So if you guys played Dreamcast, then you know. And then some of the sports games, they had really good sports games. Had a weak control. The controller is really weird. So
Yeah,
uh,
it's kind of big and clunky like an N64 controller, but doesn't it have like a little screen on it?
yeah, it has. Well, the screen is for the memory unit that came with it. It was like a little LED screen, like a calculator screen,
Hmm.
and so you could plug it in, and it would actually light up and tell you, kind of important
Oh,
stuff.
that sounds really fancy and necessary.
I know it was actually a pain in the ass because one cool thing would be, and they never utilized this, was that if you play sports games, you could call plays on it, but they never did that. So I always thought that would be kind of interesting to do that. Like if you're playing against somebody, and you
Yeah.
don't see so. But
Okay,
well,
so are you finished?
yes,
All
you tell me to
right.
shut up.
Well, can you mute yourself? So PlayStation 2, honestly, out of the sixth generation, at the time, I only had an original Xbox. And that was before the time I was an actual gamer. Like there was, like in the last episode of the Harper 3K show, we we talked about previous generation systems and the early stuff like Super Nintendo, original Nintendo, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And I talked about like Uniracers and talked about Super Mario World 2.
I like how you called it Uniracer.
I know, right? Um, that those were the games I played when I was a kid, and then I went through, like Barbies, and I had just stopped caring completely. And then the original Xbox came out, and suddenly I wanted one because everybody had one that was around me. So I wanted one really bad, and you know how when systems first come out, they're crazy expensive. So my
Yes.
grandpa dropped like $500 on an original Xbox,
Wow.
and I played it maybe twice, and then I didn't play it for a really long time, and then I hardly ever played mine again. But I ended up dating this guy who had one, and I would always play. Need for Speed Underground 2 was my game. That was my shit. Oh my god, that game was so much fun. I had the stupidest looking car that I thought was the shit when I was playing it at the time. It was a pink Honda Civic with pink tinted windows, blue neon undercarriage lights, and like the biggest spoiler you've ever seen in your life. Like,
Who's the girl in that game? Because you know how they have like real
Brooke
people.
Burke.
Okay, I played that game too because that's all I remember.
Yeah, it was Brooke Burke. I remember they had a Queens of the Stone Age song in there, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of them. And they had the main menu song was this awful remix, blasphemy against the Doors. It was Riders on the Storm mixed with Snoop Dogg.
Snoop-a-loop.
It's awful. So, I mean, as far as sixth generation goes, that's basically my extent of it. I never had a PlayStation 2. I never had a
Ooh.
GameCube. I know, but I did play games that came out on the PlayStation 2. I played them a little on the Xbox, but the main game that I played is actually, what's funny is that the two games that I played the most, aside from Need for Speed, was the demo disc that came with the Xbox had Sega GT and Jet Set Radio Future on it. I played the shit out of Jet Set Radio Future.
Did you ever get the game?
Oh, sorry, it wasn't a demo disc. It had the two games on it.
Oh, it had the two games on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
like you get it with the system?
Right, like how you used to get Halo like 3 and Forza with the 360.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So yeah, I played a lot of that.
Okay. So I was actually a PlayStation 2 guy. I talked about this in the other video. I was a PlayStation 2 guy. I didn't play it too much. I played Madden a lot. That was my game. And one, I guess, quick note is that I had how the PlayStations were pretty rare when they came out.
Yeah.
And like somebody offered me $1,500 the day I bought it
Wow.
for $299, and I said no.
Whoa, because you thought you were the coolest kid ever.
I know. I was like, how old would I have been? I was like 20 or 19 or 20, I think, and I could have $1,500 when you're 19 at that time was like $5,000 right now. So I don't know why. I was like, no, I want to play. I want to play this crappy Madden game that isn't even running at 60 FPS. I'm gonna play it, and then I regret that. But when I got a DVD player, look, that's what I wanted. So that's why I have for PS2. Final Fantasy VII was pretty good. One of the few Final Fantasies that I ended up playing. And Xbox, I got the Xbox late, but Halo was always Halo and Halo 2 are always kind of the favorites for everybody. So.
Right.
Why don't you go ahead and lead us into the next one? What is it? 360s and PS3s?
Yeah, the 7th gen. Yeah, it would be the Wii, whatever. The 360 and the PS3. As far as what I have all three. The Wii, I don't even know where it's at. It's somewhere in the garage. You remember how we had that like pest problem? So we had to like box up everything, and that was one of the only things that was in the bedroom. So that had to be boxed up. It actually has to stay in storage for like a year and a half.
Wow.
Which would probably be about the next time we're due to use the
next.
anyway.
That'll be the next. The Wii 3 is gonna come out.
Yeah, exactly. So the only time, I mean, my boyfriend played it way more often than I ever did. I played it a couple things because I used to work at GameStop, so I would check stuff out. There was never a game where I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to use these dumbass remotes. I'm sorry, but I cannot get into the Wii at all.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I've tried so many games that people love for it. Like I've tried all the Mario games that have come out on it. I've tried. The only one I haven't tried that I was kind of interested in checking out was the new Donkey Kong game. But even then, I just do not like the whole motion remote thing, which is why I have. Yeah, it is a gimmick. Yeah, and all the games are garbage. So, so I do remember in 2007, December of 2006. So I was already living on my own. I had just gotten my first, started renting my first room in a different house, I think. Anyways, doesn't matter. So I had some money saved up, and I had money left on my credit card.
Where'd that credit card go?
A little thing called default.
I went to default heaven.
Yeah, I'm never getting a Best Buy credit card again. Not because I don't want one, but because they'll never let me have one.
Because I really, really want one. Because I'm not
Yeah,
gonna pay for it.
exactly. So I ended up putting half the money for a 360 on my credit card and ended up paying the rest with my paycheck. Ended up probably costing me like 200 credit points
Ooh,
plus like another $1,000. Expensive ass gold plated Xbox.
I know.
Um, so I was just, and still am. I mean, I have the Slim now. I actually just bought a second Xbox. I have one in the bedroom and I have one in the family room.
Hmm.
So I definitely play my 360 way more than my PS3. I just dusted off my PS3 and I bought a bunch of games for it. Like I have BioShock on every system. I just bought BioShock 2 on every system, including the PC. And I just bought Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2 for the PS3 too, because a bunch of my friends have it. So I might as well broaden my horizons, but I definitely am on 360 9 hours out of the day sometimes. Like sometimes I recently I've been having to like take a step back because it's like I have to remind myself that I don't have to play if I'm not having fun, and I
Hmm.
shouldn't play if I'm not having fun. So
That
that's a
sounds like
whole
you're
other
addicted. That sounds like addiction.
it's a whole other conversation. But
Yeah.
I mean, I play a lot of Call of Duty, obviously, but
Hmm.
I play tons of RPGs. And as far as like if we're gonna pick 3 games, you're timing this, by the way,
Yeah.
right?
Quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. We're at 11 minutes right now, so
Oh,
we got
right.
two more.
All right. As far as like my favorite games, it's hard to pick, but BioShock is on there. I'm not gonna put them in order, but BioShock is definitely one of them. Um, I want to say Mass Effect, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Half-Life 2.
Hmm.
Um,
That gave me a headache. Like it gave me a migraine. Like me and
really? Why?
can't. I don't know. It's like too. It moves too fast, and the view is like too narrow, or it's like too zoomed in. I
Get
can't.
that? I can dig that.
Yeah.
So then Half-Life 2, because I played Half-Life on the PC and it was awesome. I love most Valve games; they're amazing. And I don't know if I want to say if I even want to put Modern Warfare 2 on there. It is my favorite Call of Duty game.
Hmm.
I'll put it on there purely for the single player campaign, which is fantastic.
Yeah. I
It's
liked it. It was a little out there, but I like Michael Bay movies, even though everybody hates them. But
yeah.
uh, yeah, I guess my three for Xbox would be, let's see, I like COD 4 a lot. That was like the first game that got me into Modern Warfare
You have
or
that?
Call of Duty series.
Do you have?
Uh, I don't. I sold it, and I know that's like against the COD
Go
creed.
go rebuy
That's
it so we can play.
I want the Game of the Year edition, but they don't come with the maps anymore.
Well,
So, anyways, Borderlands is pretty good. Played some Borderlands.
oh
I like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. Borderlands is great. Borderlands 2 is coming out soon. It's gonna be awesome.
And then let me think. I don't know, probably Madden series, even though it's kind of gone downhill and I don't even play it anymore. But those are probably the 3 games that I play the most and I enjoy the most. So,
Quick question. As far as Madden goes, instead of releasing a game every year, do you think every other year they should release a game updating the controls, and every other year where a game isn't released, they should just update the rosters? Do you
I
think that would
think
make more sense?
yes, but not for business. It wouldn't make
Well,
no
not for
sense.
business, no, but I mean for I mean it'll never happen, but do you think from a customer standpoint that would make more sense?
Well,
Because I know working at GameStop, I heard a lot that every other year is a good Madden, and every other year is a terrible Madden. Because
I'll
nothing.
actually answer that question on the next video that I'm gonna make.
All
So,
right, there you go.
all right, so we had to wrap it up short because on my channel I got copyrighted everything, so I only get limited 15-minute videos. But what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna answer that question. That's actually a really good question. A lot of people have asked me that before. But we're going to do that in the next video. We're going to try to keep a regular schedule. So thank you guys for listening. If you guys want to hear or any topics you want us to talk about, go ahead and put them in the comment section. Be sure to check out Harper's channel, aka Snarky Badoof, aka the Mediocre Madam.
One and only.
So one and only. So for Justin Case04, why don't you go ahead and say goodbye for us, Snarky.
Deuces.
Bye bye.